Imagine this. You're 16 years old. You come home from school, toss your phone on the bed, and head downstairs for dinner. Later that night, you return to your room and notice something strange. Your phone isn't where you left it. You check the screen. Several messages have been opened. Your parents went through your phone. Your private conversations, your photos, your secrets. Were they protecting you or violating you? Today, we're bringing two great philosophers face to face to debate a question that millions of families argue about every day. On one side is John Stuart Mill, the philosopher who believed individual freedom is one of humanity's highest values, and that society should interfere with personal liberty only to prevent harm to others. On the other side is Thomas Hobbes, the philosopher who believed human beings require authority, supervision, and order, because without them life quickly descends into chaos. The question before them: should parents be allowed to look through their children's phones?
Absolutely. Parents not only have the right, they have the duty. You speak of privacy as though it exists in a vacuum. It does not. Children are not isolated individuals. They are vulnerable human beings navigating a dangerous world. The Internet exposes them to predators, exploitation, addiction, manipulation, and cruelty on a scale unprecedented in history. Parents who refuse to monitor their children in the name of freedom may discover too late that freedom offered without guidance becomes abandonment. Authority exists for a reason. A captain does not ask a child whether he wishes to wear a life jacket before a storm. He simply insists. Likewise, parents are responsible for protecting their children, even when children resent it.
Protection is important, but liberty is not a luxury granted only to adults. It is through freedom that human beings develop judgment, individuality, and moral character. A child who grows up under constant surveillance may learn obedience. He may never learn responsibility, because responsibility requires trust. When parents secretly search a child's phone, they communicate something profound: I do not trust you. And when trust disappears, honesty often disappears with it. Children simply become better at hiding things. A young person who cannot possess even a small private world may never truly become an independent adult.
You place extraordinary faith in human beings. I do not. Young people are inexperienced. They are impulsive. They are easily influenced. Social media companies employ thousands of experts whose sole purpose is to capture attention and shape behavior. Do you honestly believe a 14-year-old can defend himself against forces designed by some of the world's most powerful corporations? Parents who refuse supervision are not noble defenders of liberty. They are surrendering their children to strangers.
And yet there is a danger in excessive authority. History repeatedly shows that power, even well-intentioned power, often expands beyond necessity. A parent begins by checking for danger. Soon he is reading every conversation, judging every friendship, monitoring every opinion. At what point does protection become control? Children are not possessions. They are individuals in the process of becoming themselves. To deny them privacy entirely is to deny an essential part of human development.
Privacy cannot come before safety. Suppose parents discover their daughter is being bullied. Suppose their son is speaking with an adult predator. Suppose a child is contemplating self-harm. Would you still defend privacy? Would you really tell grieving parents, at least you respected boundaries? No. The first obligation of a parent is survival. Everything else comes after.
You frame this as though only two options exist: total surveillance or complete neglect. But wise parenting lies between those extremes. Parents should cultivate relationships in which children willingly share their struggles. Trust cannot flourish under constant inspection. Indeed, secrecy often grows in proportion to surveillance. The teenager whose phone is searched every week does not become more honest. He learns encryption. He creates hidden accounts. He acquires a second phone. Fear rarely produces virtue. It produces concealment.
and trust without verification is risky. A parent may sincerely believe his child tells him everything. He is almost certainly mistaken. Children conceal things, adults conceal things, human beings conceal things. This is precisely why institutions, laws, and authority exist. Because human beings are imperfect. The digital world magnifies those imperfections. Parents who occasionally inspect their children's phones are not tyrants. They are guardians.
Guardianship should gradually give way to freedom. The purpose of parenting is not permanent supervision. It is to prepare a person for adulthood. Eventually, every young person must learn to govern himself. How can he do so if every decision is externally monitored? You cannot raise free adults by never allowing freedom. At some point, trust must be given before it is fully deserved. Because that is how maturity develops.
Perhaps, but maturity also develops through boundaries. A child permitted absolute freedom often mistakes freedom for invulnerability, and reality can be merciless. Parents bear consequences children do not yet understand. The teenager embarrassed by supervision today may one day thank his parents for preventing irreversible mistakes.
Or he may spend adulthood struggling to trust others because those closest to him never trusted him first. Human dignity requires a private sphere. Even young people deserve some corner of life that belongs to them alone. Without privacy, individuality withers. And a society that sacrifices liberty for security risks losing both.
And a society that values liberty above safety risks losing the very people it seeks to liberate.
So, what would you do? If you were a parent, would you search your child's phone to protect them, or would you respect their privacy and trust them to make their own choices? Tell us in the comments below, who won this debate?